This combo is just so hard to get in normal runs, and as long as we don't get one specific area 2 boss, I'm sure we'll be perfectly fine. The starting I've Tettle is great. Now replace my entire starting deck with level 3 variants. So we have the Pebbles I replaced with Fortifications and the Chopping Bollock, the Sphere. Pretty sure this... Oh, I forgot one key piece. But it's fine, because I'll just find said key piece. I really would like a... Wait, was it my extra damage? Oh yeah, okay, there it is. I didn't realize the extra damage was retroactive. Um, Makes sense that it is, I guess. I thought it would apply throughout the entire shot, though. I forgot about the one key piece, which is actually a really important piece. This might be less enjoyable than I was hoping. I was meant to get the revenge piece. Unfortunately, it's not here yet. It hasn't yet arrived. The good news is I do have super shielding. The bad news is I really want that revenge piece. I really want it. At least I didn't realize Fortification actually has very decent damage. Like, that's a lot more than I was expecting for Fortification. I feel like they changed it sometime recently. Because I feel like I remember it being a 1-2. Yeah, so this comp definitely gets enough shielding. I wasn't really that concerned about how much shielding I'll get, because there are going to be maps where I'm going to get significantly less shielding. And those are the maps I'm worried about, because it's going to be a lot less. And if the enemies can also keep up, then that also gets very rough. Yeah, fights like those, it's definitely going to be where the chopping bulk shines. We do have that store. I just need to make sure I'm able to afford enhanced gunpowder. Sure. Enhanced gunpowder is a great way to special button. Sure. I can try and force like positive crit comp nonsense. Realistically though, that is just decreasing another free passive. Okay, sure. Realistically, that is just decreasing the number of win conditions I can use for shield build, because shield build can also access the for every 10 bullet gain some circle as a valid win condition, which is something they usually are forced to access the second they realize they're fighting a demon wall, because otherwise demon wall is quite unwinnable. Maybe not quite unwinnable. Unwinnable a very large majority of the time, shall we say. And it actually gives you a fighting chance for that fight. And, you know, adding a crit onto the board is what makes it a fighting chance instead of a guaranteed win. Since you just get so many shield pegs on that board, if you have it, that of course you're going to get a very large amount of Berserker and be able to hit a large number of good pegs. Alright, perfect. Good gold there. It's kind of hard to aim though. Yeah, kind of. Shotgun Bollock will do many things. And one of the things it will do is get the kill for sure. Solid, but I don't believe I'm getting to 100 gold. Much less 105. Alright, there are 3 passives I'm on the lookout for. I got 0 of them. Unfortunate. Just take short fuse, yes. Look, as long as I don't get some specific enemies, I'll be fine. There are just some enemies that I'm currently terrified of. I'm not sure if this is one of them. I was thinking about it. It seems fine, but I'm really not fully sure. I need to get in here with one of my shots. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, no, this fight should definitely be fine. Good. I was terrified of a Minotaur, but it's like I haven't gone one just yet. Actually, interestingly enough, I'm not really that interested in the rare relics. They're useful, of course, so I'll be picking them up and trying to get some good ones, because there are definitely more than a few valuable ones. But in terms of trying to convert a shield win condition, they're not actually necessary. Yeah, because the chopping block just eventually will smash through them. That's a lot of damage. Let's actually try and get some more gold, I guess. If possible. Seems possible. Just need to not hit a bomb. That might be a bit hard. I probably shouldn't have shot a pebble shot then. Oh wait, no, I can't get the rainbow slime. My mistake. Forgot about the red guy. Wow, 72 damage there. That's kind of crazy. 450 shielding. Something's telling me he's not getting through that. 51 gold. Do not have another store. I do have 2 chests though, which I feel like that's a pretty good chance to get what I'm looking for. And of course, the number 1 passive I want is the number 1 passive you never want. Crits also refresh the board. That is lovely. More refreshing, don't mind if I do. Revenge damage, of course. I would absolutely adore getting revenge damage. Just don't believe I'm going to find it. Since the chances are not exactly the best, shall we say. Alright, I'll try and get 2 rainbow slimes here. Stay in. Thank you. Oh, it refreshes. That is much more helpful than I initially considered. Especially considering what boss passive I get. Because I'm thinking, I'm just like, okay, something like durable is actually so good here. I would enjoy getting a durable. But yeah, now we have 3 refreshes on the board. Oh wait, if I don't actually access the bombs, then there's no point in spawning the rainbow slimes, I guess. It's not really grinding me that much extra gold as well. I might just shoot the chopping bollock at the... Yeah, I'll just shoot the chopping bollock at him. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. Boom. Yeah, I thought I grabbed the rare relics and I was just like, oh, the rare relics are the only relics I need. Unfortunately, they're not. So that should be more than enough. Perfect. Like, you guys can keep going, but it's 440 shielding. Good luck. You're gonna need it. No bomb. No bomb. I no longer really require the bomb, do I? Not for this shot, at least. And not for the next shot, because he's not at a bomb breakpoint. So the passives that I'm considering are when you shield a whole bunch, gain a circle, is the backup plan. Of course, the primary game plan is revenge damage. I will actually take a hero's backpack just because I'm terrified of... I don't want to. Overflow? I'll just take refresh. I'm terrified of Demon Wolf. I'm really quite terrified. That's unfortunate. Let's actually not do anything serious. Oops. Oh well. Pretty sure our next shot should be fine. Yep, it's fine. Oh, that is a lot of shielding. Like, imagine we had revenge damage here. It would be perfect. Boom. Right, that didn't muscle through towards the bombs. I'm surprised. I'll do this again, I guess. Or maybe not. I probably should have. Right, all I need now is one more bomb. So close. 140 gold. Plan on going to the question mark afterwards. Oh, I missed a shot, damn. I should get a unicorn horn so I can consistently make that shot. It's definitely a good early use of unicorn horn. It's always nice to know the additional uses that passives might have in specific fights. You never know when it's going to be handy. I've had it matter actually quite a few times. It's definitely something that I'm just gonna keep navigating, it seems. That's fine. Oh, this is actually kind of a hard fight to gain shielding on. I see, as I gained 42 shielding on the first shot. Well, not 40 on the first shot, but in the first section of combat. Alright, maybe I get an egg. I really shouldn't need an egg, actually, so I'll happily spend the... sorry, an egg. I'll happily spend the egg when I need to, because I don't really need a cake this run. In a perfect world, that is, of course. Now, I guess I'm not scared of like Minotaur anymore. There are still some fights which may not end well for me, shall we say. This is to get as many shield picks on the board, scaling up Chopping Bollock to deal lethal amounts of damage. 21 damage per shield pick on the board. Interesting. Sure. Hit that lovely crit. Alright, yeah, Chopping Block should be able to do good stuff here. A killer shot is all it needs to achieve. Not my best shot ever. No, 39. I like shooting the horrible on this fight because it's big. Means when I pop the vines that it's caught in, get a big orb, which is handy if it has good damage. As it stands, we don't actually have an orb in our deck with good damage to benefit off of it, but it's not a bad orb to catch in your vines, at least. Wow, that beeline towards that vine. Oh, this is the really unfortunate thing about shield picks on this map, isn't it? That sucks. It is definitely rather annoying. Not ideal, to say the least. As long as I can get them from the other side, we're fine. You bounced past them. You did it again? Okay. I popped it. Nice. I was so close to popping 2 more. Oops. I was not meant to shoot the egg, but honestly, as I said, I don't care about it. And I popped another one. Insane value. Oh, there we go. Grab 1 more gold coin. Perfect. Now let's try an unpretentious amulet, of course. I did get durable. It has pretty good... Oh my god. Well, I saw those stores, so I'm going to be playing for those stores. What happened to that momentum? Okay. Wasn't what I was expecting. That's the momentum I was expecting. I don't know what the shot was, apparently. Horrible. Grab me some gold. Nothing major. You can't pop me bombs, can you? If it got caught there, no, it still couldn't. Do a shot like that. 45? Oh, that's really annoying. I'll try and do a shot which hits a bomb. Yeah. Gotta make sure I'm getting my value A. 412 shielding. Nice, we got rid of his shield. Perfect. I'm just gonna get the chopping bullet kill. I don't think Fortification was going to get the kill there, so I abandoned trying to get it. Because I don't think it was going to work. Perfect. Now, 1 more damage like that and then we are perfectly fine. Unfortunately, that was not damage like that. Yeah, take your silly turns. I am at least stacked with a double store. That is nice. Another Fortification, don't mind if I do. Can't actually take elites that easily, so I think I'll just go left. Try and get random question marks to give me the passives that I'm looking for. Minus 50 max HP, not exactly interested in that. If anything, I might need the max HP. We should outbulk this fight, but oh my god, this is actually going to take a while. I'm going to skip it. Oh, blammo. Yeah, as you can see, 898 shielding. That fight was going for quite a bit. Duplicate a random orb should be good. Pebble, whatever. Random navigation into an elite? That's not into an elite, that's away from everything. I'll pass. Look, I think I'll just take a dumbbell and move along. Spiral Slayer useful. Dumbbell shouldn't matter in the fights where I'm trying to achieve my real win condition, and in the fights where I am trying to I'm needing to use a different win condition. That should be helpful, I believe. Depending on how far how long they're going for. Got one. Oh, I have so much shielding already. I wasn't sure how much shielding I'd be able to get immediately, but looks like my expectations were met. Yeah, I saw the durable as my boss pass, so I'm just like, I feel like I can get so much shielding off of this. Because Fortification is applying it to every 3, and durable makes them every 3. Wow, would you look at that? The value is unreal. Alright. Problem is, it can't be Revenge. It has to be Circle, now that I'm fighting this guy. I was really hoping I wouldn't get Demon Maul, but there was a piece of me that knew the second I started this run that it was going to be Demon Maul. And so now that's something I have to deal with. If I have 500 bulwark, look, as much as I would love to believe that I'm going to get it, I do have to come to terms of reality, which is the chance that I don't get it leaves me straight up dead. So taking something like that, which if I can shoot it 2 times or maybe even 3 times, then it should be enough to keep me alive. I don't know. It's questionable. I'm hopeful. Much better. We actually arrived at the chest this time. Oh, well that just happened. All right. I crashed yet again. But yeah, the good news is we actually have multiple crits on the board now, so trying not to use the training tower in the late game is much more feasible. In that case, I don't really care about the upgrade on that orb as much, but I will still try it just in case it is a necessary win condition I need to pick up. It probably isn't, but it's still good to have as an option, you know. The orb itself, I'm pretty sure you basically never want to pick it up. But like, just knowing that you have one more out for these orbs where you giga stack shielding is very nice. Because like, the orb wouldn't be useful if I didn't have like all 3 of these. That's a training weight. I'm just going to take the training weight to guarantee it. Hopefully I can add more crits on my board past that point, but yeah, just going to take that for now. Alright, next door I'll buy the remove, presumably. Wow. I mean, I just have to take the added advantage, don't I? Marcus is decent, Nightcap's awesome, but I'm just taking the added advantage. There was also a fortification there, wow, I really wish I had more gold there. Alright, so let's just 3810, let's just try and increase this Berserker value a bit, shall we? So I'm pretty sure we can get a OTK here. This is what I mean by I really don't want to be accessing this combo in the late game. I would love to be accessing Revenge instead, but I don't know if that's going to be available to me. Go for gold is great because it removes my crit damage basically. I just need to find Revenge damage. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I guess I would be fine to run this run without actually doing the Revenge damage combo instead. It's not what I prefer to do, but if you're not going to give me anything else, then I guess I'll accept it. Although it is much more dull compared to the Revenge damage. Yeah, it's faster, of course, but you know, it's just a very simple 5,000 damage. Very fast. No, I believe. I always find Revenge damage. I mean, look, I beat Demon Maul, so clearly I'm at least mildly lucky this run. I wonder though, do we think the best Orbfence would have been enough? Because I'd need to shoot the best Orbfence, let's say 3 times, I think. And that seems... No, I think actually 2 times would do it. 2 times it seems very possible. 3 times though, I don't believe in 3 times. The reason why it's 2 times and not 3 times is because I think I'm not going to struggle hitting a ton of pegs on that map at all. So Oh, I cap out at 999. That's cool. I don't believe... Yeah, I cap it at 999. I just realized I don't know if I've actually ever been to 999 Org before. That's cool. Rallying Heart, insane. I'm definitely going to need it. That's actually kind of cool. I won't be able to get much value out of it, but it's fine. A lot of elites, and not exactly any elite passives I care about that much. I guess Overwhelm is nice. A bat. I imagine the bat's just going to die to some red bomb down the line. Is what I would expect, but I guess that might not be the case. Oh wait, no, he takes damage. I think flying bomb enemies don't damage ground enemies, but ground enemies do damage flying enemies apparently. Cool. Didn't know this. 321 shielding. I mean, I'm at the point where I just let them blow off of me, right? Simpler that way. I'm getting a killer shot though, still worth taking those shots. But yeah, the second you hit Training Tablet, it's very easy to use that as your win condition instead of revenge damage. As it stands, there is no instead of revenge damage because I just don't have any revenge damage to speak of. It'd be nice if I did, but there's only one way this class, two ways actually I guess, two ways this class gets access to revenge damage, and one of them is not available to me because I can't lose health, and the second one I unfortunately have failed to find. For this run I would usually start off with it, but I forgot. Simple as that, I forgot. Holy! Yeah, that's some pretty good damage. If only I had an Overwhelmer. The good news is, 3 elites will give you an Overwhelmer. Or an Augur if you ask for one. I'm not asking for one though. I will only accept an Overwhelmer or a Primal of Frost. I would much prefer Overwhelmer though because my damage is extreme and I want it to be able to pierce through all enemies at all times. Primal is great for consistently being able to do it because every single run you're not going to be able to develop a massive 25,000 damage nuke, but this run is not like the other runs. There's the Augur that I mentioned is absolutely useless. Let's take it because it's useful for chopping bollock. Useful for chopping bollock, garbage for everything else? Yeah, that's correct. Alright, perfect. I do miss out on a elite here, and that's fine. It's only one elite. The main thing I want is Overwhelmer, really. A radio worm here. Cool. I think that's what they're called. I don't know. Cool, your enemies by their real names. I'm not allowed to do that, actually. Forget I ever said it. Damn, look at that insane pierce. Actually, I guess there are 2 orbs with the ability to use Augur. Yeah, just like that. Imagine I had revenge damage. Damn. Well, the good news about not running this run with the revenge damage is it means that I want to rerun this run soon enough with the revenge damage. Oh, hello. I could take a all of nothing, but I'm not going to. It's very much not the point of this run. So if I shoot here and I go into that black hole, I actually do navigate to the right, apparently. Not that the navigation is needed to go to the right there, but it is very useful to know information. There we go. I did not get to remove the orb from my deck that I added specifically for Demon Wall, but that's fine. I didn't need to, I just could. And would, given the opportunity. Oh, my tugging was off. It's fine, I just have to spend forever smashing through them. And the orbs that can actually use Augur should be using Augur if possible. Holy... Of course you somehow hit a crit. The way how I hit a crit as well was just marvellous. Actually just insane. I don't think he's going to be able to damage me. I have refresh your right. Yeah. I do not, however, have the ability to hit a crit easily. Except I managed to hit... Well, okay. I was hoping for a second. Hey, that hit the crit? Oh wow. Didn't expect it to be able to manage that. That hits another crit? Wow. Alright, can I have 2 crits here then? I guess I'll accept one. It is definitely getting a kill. 600 damage. Lovely stuff. I'm actually also farming gold here as well, which is nice. -6 max HP, sure. I don't have any forms of healing, so I'd rather end the final full health. This is definitely a skip as well, actually. Oh, there we go. The horrible got the job done. Popping on for healing Juke Punch so that we can hit more crits, so that we can stack more shielding. Yes, it's exactly what I want because in a perfect world I'm using like Chopping Block or the other funny bounce orb to get a kill, I think. And if that's allowing me to do that, then that is... Oh my, that's a lot of damage. And that's exactly the orb I want to choose there. Counter effect crits, perfect. Just anything that allows me to crit. So that way I can actually not get in value off of my Miss Circle. Because otherwise this Miss Circle is just going completely ham. Why is it so bouncy? Yeah, I think we can see that the All or Nothing would be getting a very decent chunk of damage. Wait, please hit a crit. God damn it. Alright, one down. There's an extra nice whiff. Alright. This time, you'll definitely hit a crit, right? Alright, my plan of hitting a crit, as it turns out, not as effective as I expected it would be, because there's a lot of shield pegs, and there's a lot of durable pegs, and unfortunately, that combo combined makes it very hard to actually get to where the crit pegs are. I wonder how much damage this will do. Actually, I don't wonder, I know. Yeah, it's got 7,000 damage at least. Alright, let's just shoot this, try and hit a crit. Perfect. Chopping Bollock to get the kill? Sounds like a plan. 990, yes, Chopping Bollock, and it crits, perfect. Alright, let's get the kill, right? Oh my god, not even close. Alright, well let's get to the, Hold on. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. It's definitely one of the highest value safety nets you've ever seen. There are some really cool things you can do with safety net. In particular, the one I'm thinking of right now is crit comp, where you shuffle infinite crits onto the board. All or nothing. No, not all or nothing. No, yeah, all or nothing. Wait, no, not all or nothing. Crit comp, Betsy's Hedge, and then any orb. Yeah, that's the build. That's the build. And then you get infinite crits onto the board. Betsy's Hedge gives you infinite normal damage, and then any orb except all or nothing, because all or nothing is doing exactly what we're trying to do. And then you like aim directly into an end, into a void, into the end of the map, and then you just get five procs, which is usually a lot of damage. In some builds, it's funnier than others. And this one, we had infinite scaling the circle because we had to fight a demon, so I had to pick the thing up so that I had to actually put a real win condition in this deck, which is truly disappointing because I love not having real win conditions in this deck.